Hey, Eagle fans! Your Statesboro Walmart is your one-stop shop for all your Georgia Southern football and game day needs. Pick up your GSU sports gear here. We have t-shirts, hats, tote bags, koozies, stadium bleacher seats, car spirit flags, wall pennants, beads, and more right here at the best prices in town. Also, don't forget we can handle all of your tailgating needs with our great food trays, baked goods, and fresh, high-quality meat, seafood, and chicken.
Walmart. Save money. Live better. Walmart.
On this week's show, the Georgia Southern Eagles with an important Sun Belt doubleheader as they welcome Louisiana Lafayette to Hanner Fieldhouse. We'll have highlights and analysis as well as we welcome you inside the Eagles' nest. And welcome inside the Eagles' Nest. I'm your host, Josh Aubrey, being joined by Matt Yogus, the sports editor and Georgia Southern beat writer for the Statesboro Herald. And Matt, we're right about at the midway point in the season right now for Georgia Southern. They've right now tied for second as we go to tape in the league. Surprised at all by where Georgia Southern is right now?
I think so. It's hard to be too surprised because honestly, we didn't know much about the Sun Belt Conference coming in. You know, obviously Georgia State, UL Lafayette, the two favorites to really control the conference. And Georgia State's had a few slip-ups, but I think a lot of people still have them projected to win the regular season. So Georgia Southern being in the mix with those teams, I mean, it's a great start. I think a lot of people are looking at this Thursday with UL Lafayette to say, okay, it's for real, or okay, maybe we got excited too early. But I don't think it's too early to start talking about at least one bye, maybe two for Georgia Southern in the Sun Belt tournament.
And the good thing about Georgia Southern is they should only get better if they stay healthy because these guys are still relatively new playing with each other on the floor as a team with Eric Ferguson and Trent Wiedemann, both coming in this year not having played last year.
Sure, it's almost a spoilage of riches. You know, you've got a lot of guys from the perimeter starting to shoot the ball pretty well. Plus, you got guys under the basket with Eric Ferguson and Trent Wiedemann, especially who do you give it to, you know? And then you have Angel Matthias, who's capable of getting a double-double any given night. So there's a lot of points to go around, and you're right. It's just a matter of finding out who to go to it on any particular look, any particular play, because guys are knocking down shots, and they're looking pretty good.
The Eagles 3-1 right now is the time we go to tape in the conference. As for the ladies, they finally won a game in the conference, and a big one when you win on the road. I have to imagine that's a good thing.
Yeah, South Alabama's not very good, but you got to look at the way they beat them, and they thoroughly dominated them throughout the entire course of the game. It was the first win in Sun Belt play. It was on the road, and they get to come back home for a tough game in the Sun Belt. They have all those things working for them, so it'll be interesting to see how they respond to a little success. UL Lafayette's certainly no slouch. They're a much better team than South Alabama. So, you know, we can base a lot more on the outlook of the season on what happens next, more than what happened against South Alabama.
All right, well, Lafayette, of course, did not play Georgia Southern in football.
Really?
I think we've kind of talked a little bit about that.
I hadn't heard that.
In baseball, the baseball team for Georgia Southern is going to have to go on the road to Lafayette. So this is one of the first opportunities for that team to come to Statesboro. A big crowd on hand. Let's get out and see some of the highlights from Lafayette and Georgia Southern's doubleheader from Thursday night. Another Eagle doubleheader Thursday night at Hanner Fieldhouse. Georgia Southern hosting UL Lafayette. Ladies first. The visitors with the lead. Robbie Brown hits the pull-up jumper. Next, Kiki Veal driving in for two of her game-high 22 points. Raging Cajuns up 9. Southern tries to come back. Anna Claire Knight hits the long two. Next, inside they go to Brianna Jones for the bucket. More from Knight, who hits another jumper. She'd finish with a team-high 19 points. Joining her in double figures, Angel McGowan for 3 of her 17. The lead cut to 4. But before the half, Jalen Gordon for 3. The Raging Cajuns take a 31-26 halftime lead. Second half, more for McGowan. She hits the pull-up jumper. And then it'll be Knight for 2 more. But those the only 2 Eagles to score more than 7 points. Meanwhile, a little more balanced scoring for UL Lafayette, and they'd go on to win 69-57. First place in the Sun Belt on the line. Unfortunately, a packed house of over 4,000 on hand for the first ever conference meeting between the Eagles and Raging Cajuns. Trent Wiedemann with the touch on the fadeaway. Later, Angel Matthias drives hard to the bucket. Curtis Diamond Then getting in on the fun as the Eagles would take a 7-point lead. Jelani Hewitt next, knifing his way through traffic for the layup. ULL coming back behind Big Sean Long here with the hook shot, but the Eagles controlling the first half. Wiedemann off the mark, but Mike Hughes there for the rebound, the putback, and the foul. Diamond, one of 4 Eagles in double figures. He'd have 12 points, including this 3. Hewitt starting to heat up, driving in, and then banking home 2 of his 17 in the game. Next, Hewitt with the pull-up three-pointer as the Eagles take an 8-point halftime lead. Second half, Wiedemann driving in for 2 to get things going. The big man showing why the NBA is looking at him, though, on the other end. Long for 3. The Eagles answer, working the ball around to Jake Alsmiller for 3 from the corner. Georgia Southern then off to the races as Hewitt finds Matias on the break. Matias with 11 points. A huge night for freshman Mike Hughes, a career best and team-high 18 points. Eric Ferguson will then heat up. First, the step-back jumper. Next, Hewitt to Ferguson with the alley-oop. And then Ferguson in traffic, 2 more of his 9 points in the game. Wiedemann later spots a cutting Hughes for the easy 2. Then Wiedemann to Matias, who comes up with the nice reverse. The Eagles up by 10. ULL cuts the lead to 3 late in the game as Haywood Register hits 3. But the Eagles respond. Hewitt, the hoop, and the foul as Georgia Southern takes over first place in the league, winning 78-70.
With more than 100 years of experience under one roof, Complete Car Care on 207 Northside Drive can do it all for your car or truck, gas or diesel, even hybrids, motors, tune-ups, front end, air conditioning, transmissions, electrical. Complete Car Care does it all. When others say no, Complete Car Care says yes. Come see what Michael and his team can do for you at Complete Car Care, 207 Northside Drive.
We'll have next for Georgia Southern on the road at Troy. Big road trips coming up. You got to go to Troy. Then it's a rematch, believe it or not, with Texas State from that exciting game from about a week or so ago.
Teams combined to shoot 29% in that one, so should be more fun to come.
40-36, and then Georgia Southern at Louisiana and Monroe. So important for those 3 games that you got to at least steal 1 or maybe 2 if you can on the road.
Sure, they went on the road, before UL Lafayette, won 2 road games. Both of them they won fairly easily at Arkansas State and at South Alabama. So those were important. It's always important to win on the road. And yeah, if they can come out of that 3-game stretch with only 1 loss, they'll be looking pretty good.
All right, well that'll wrap it up for Matt Yogas. I'm Josh Aubrey. Thanks for joining us. Hope to see you again next week.